Well, I grew up in Tijuana, Mexico. Just as a little boy, I noticed that the aesthetics of Mexican culture is different than the U.S. style of aesthetics. And when I moved into the U.S., going to school there, as I was growing up, I got more familiar with the politics of that region, San Diego, Tijuana, the Mexican-U.S. border, understanding the politics a little bit more. A lot of interaction with the Border Patrol. Even as a young boy, like 10 years old, I would get harassed by the Border Patrol asking for my papers. And what 10-year-old boy is carrying around like papers? Like, what papers do I have? So that's where I grew up. And as I was going through high school and college, developing myself as an artist, I thought, this is a way I can kind of bring light to the subject matter. Maybe ideas of media representation of Latino culture, but also a way to promote Chicano, Mexicano, and indigenous cultures. So it can be affirming or resisting. A lot of times Chicano art is described as resistance and affirmation. So a way to talk about our culture, but also when it needs to protest, then that work also, it's meant to bring light to those subject matters. I try not to be very, I guess an art term is called didactic, or just very preachy, or very, just a whole lot of information. I try not to promote a certain point of view necessarily. I try to document reality, or try to juxtapose these bits of information to just have thought-provoking reactions from the audience. And for something like this, pick something iconic like the Oklahoma flag. And people ask me, well, how does your work relate to Oklahoma, since it's about the physical U.S.-Mexican border? And I tell them, well, there's also a mental border, that either people project on other people or that we carry along with ourselves. Like, I don't want that guy too close to me. So that's your mental border. And with the Minutemen, a lot of people don't know that a lot of the high-up members live in Oklahoma. And so I thought, well, if you want to get really technical about it, we're all visitors here, except for the Native American people. So I thought I would juxtapose something that has Native American imagery in it. And Oklahoma is a Native American word. It's not even English. So to have this idea of there's immigrants, illegal immigrants coming to Oklahoma, taking our jobs. Well, what about the land rush? What was that exactly? So I thought it was very relevant to being in Oklahoma, especially with House Bill 1804 becoming law, and one of the toughest pieces of legislature in all of the U.S. Dealing with immigrants. So I thought, well, I'm needed here too. Well, there's a lot of background story to that. I purposefully have not mentioned any names when different newspapers around town approached me, and they approached me. I didn't approach them. I didn't send out a press release or anything like that. I didn't get on TV or anything. They contacted me and said, we heard about this situation. Would you like to talk about it? And I said, I would like to talk about it, but I don't want to mention any names because I think it confuses the issue. It makes it about one particular person, and I think it's more about a culture, just this kind of attitude that certain groups of people have when they see something they don't understand, or they're trying to avoid controversy. And I had a photo of a sign. It's for all intents and purposes, it's a caution people crossing sign. And it's something that was in California and also Arizona, where migrant workers would, not understanding how fast these cars are going, and they're trying to cross something I mean, in San Diego, the two sides of the freeway is like 8 lanes of traffic.
Right.
And some of these people are from Oaxaca or Chiapas. They haven't seen a large freeway like this. So the sign, people were getting hit in California. So Caltrans, which is like California's version of ODOT here, they said, well, we got to do something. The government, I guess national government isn't doing anything about it. So let's try to protect people. Let's protect these people who are getting killed. Let's also caution the drivers because they don't want to hit anybody. So I got a photo of that sign, and I wanted to show it to people because it's not just caution people crossing. I wanted to, when I showed it here in Oklahoma, I wanted to show that caution people, that these are human beings, and isn't this a crazy thing we have to put up? You know, I don't know what the answer is, but I wanted to document a bit of reality that I grew up in. And some people at the state capitol, they gave me so many different stories about. First, it was somebody complained about the sign, and then I asked them, okay, who complained? Was it a lawmaker coming in? And they said, oh no. And I said, okay, so who complained? Then later on the story was one of our bosses wants me to take it down because they feel like it's promoting illegal immigration. And I said, well, you know, this is a government sign. So you're saying that the California state government is promoting illegal immigration? I thought they're trying to save people. And he asked me to email them this information. I emailed them a little history about that sign. So it was up for about a week, and then they took it down afterwards. And that whole experience made me very sad. Here I am, a U.S. citizen, taxpayer, and I was very proud to exhibit in the state capitol. You know, I go, wow, this is the house of the people. And to have my work here that's about Latino people of color in this capitol, I thought it was a great honor and a great showcase. And when all that stuff came up, it really broke my heart. I guess probably the worst thing was they specifically asked me not to speak to the media about it. And I thought, you know what, if it's all above board and it's all legit and there's nothing wrong with it, why can't I talk about it? You know, what are you trying to hide? So I didn't answer them. They asked me not to speak about it. And I said, wow, I don't know what to say. And that's how I left it. And what do you say when somebody tries to not only censor your work, but censor you? So, and they're nice people. I didn't want to like make it about them, because I think people would like, I didn't want them to get hurt, because you know they have their own opinion and they have a job. Maybe they didn't want to lose their job. But then I asked myself, if I was in that position, what would I do? And a lot of my work is about asking questions like that. Okay, what side of the fence are you? And I think it's a nice kind of metaphor for the border that I'm talking about. Like, okay, you have to pick a side, man. You can't just be right in the fence. You have to pick a side.
I appreciate you talking with us about that.
Thank you.